Hey third graders, welcome to session 2 of our new research literacy unit. I'm so excited. I'd really love to jump into our lesson, but first I want to clarify a few questions that Miss Kim and I have been getting. First things first, I want to make sure you understand that you should be doing the work of research with your own animal. So even though we are modeling with penguins, you should be choosing your own animal to do this work with. The second piece I want to talk about is if you do not have physical books for your animal at home, that's okay. First, you can order some on Amazon or Scholastic if you'd like, or Miss Kim and I have pushed out many nonfiction books to you on Raz-Kids or on Epic if you have the Epic online platform. So you really should be, one, having real books that are either online or in person, and two, they should be on your animal. The last thing I want to talk about is we got some questions yesterday about writing more about their animal. If you want to write more, feel free, but please understand, like for yesterday, the work you were supposed to do was this sheet, or a sheet that looked kind of like this where you were listing the subtopics. It isn't to write a story about your animal. So make sure you're really looking at the teaching point in the videos for the day and doing that work, okay? With that, let's go ahead and jump into our session 2. So, today, what I want to teach you is that as researchers dig into a topic, they often identify subtopics within that bigger topic. Then, as they read about the same subtopic in several texts, they synthesize or put together the information side by side and combine it to become experts in that specific subtopic. So what we're going to be focusing on today is synthesizing, okay? Synthesizing, another word for synthesizing is combining. Taking information from multiple texts and comparing them to find one main subtopic. As you know, our class text is all about penguins. So I'm gonna be doing this work today with a couple of our penguin books. On Wednesday, when I did this work, I saw that I made a whole list of different subtopics about penguins through looking through and seeing the table of contents and the different subheadings from my books. I saw subheadings or subtopics like babies, hatching, diet, dangers, and mating. I decided I want to focus on this subtopic for today, okay? Because this is my goal, right? I'm going to be synthesizing. So I'm going to use multiple books to focus on one subtopic and write some notes about that subtopic for information that I find in each book. So I'm going to choose babies, okay? I'm going to say instead of babies, I'm going to call it growing up, okay? And I'm going to be using my recording sheet. This is the recording sheet you will be using. It says subtopic research notes. Okay, I'm going to put that, I think you can see that right here, yep. So my subtopic is, well, we decided it's going to be growing up, right? So growing up. Now what I need to do is I need to look at my different books, and it just so happens that in this book, Penguins, I have an actual heading called Growing Up. So it kind of works out perfectly. Babies, growing up, works together. I can see I have this topic here. I'm first going to start by skimming through. Skim with me. A penguin chick grows quickly. Soon both of its parents have to hunt in order to feed it. While its parents are away, the chick huddles with other chicks for warmth and protection. A group of chicks is called a creche. Creches are guarded by adults that do not have chicks of their own. Okay, so I'm seeing some information about how quickly they grow, a little bit of the structure of how they're protected while they're growing, and then some timeline I see here. Several weeks after it is born, the chick loses its baby down and its adult feathers start to show. Okay, so I have some information here. I'm not writing anything down here yet. I want to first make sure that there's some overlap, some weaving, some combining with my other text. So now I'm going to look through another book called The Penguin, and I'm going to still be focusing on my subtopic, growing up, but I'm going to check to see what does this book have to say about how baby penguins grow up, okay? Now remember, yesterday when we previewed this, we learned it does not have a table of contents. So I'm going to need to look at the subheadings. You help me. Let's figure out if it has a spot. At the South Pole. That doesn't sound like part about growing up. Fishing champions? Nope. Love songs? Nah. No nest? Well, it is talking a little bit more about babies. Dangers, no. There are pictures of eggs though. Giant chicks, here they're talking. I might skim this part a little bit. In the brood, here we go, in the brood. In the brood, by May, chicks that are well nourished by their parents weigh about 26 pounds. But by September, those chicks that have survived only weigh about 13 pounds. What happened? Okay, so I finally found another section in my penguin book all about baby chicks and how they grow up. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go through these two texts and I'm gonna start recording notes about them growing up. And I can do this with stars or bullets, or I can do it in paragraph form, okay? So what you're doing today, you're picking your animal. Again, if you do not have physical books, that's okay, but you do need to be using either Raz-Kids or the Epic online books. We do not want you using articles because we need you doing this work of comparing, contrasting, looking at table of contents, looking at subheadings, all that. So using your two texts, select a subtopic that you either identified on Wednesday, or maybe if you came up with another one today, you can use that. Read through your texts to find the subheading similarity. For me, it was growing up. Then I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna read these sections about them growing up multiple times, 2, maybe 3 times. And then I'm gonna take notes on my subtopic research note paper all about penguins growing up based on my 2 books. If it helps you to organize it by the title of the book and then say the notes and then the other title and the name of the notes, that's totally fine. It's up to you how you organize it, but by the end of today, you should have almost a full page of some notes about a certain subtopic that you find in both your texts. Happy reading, happy writing.